So if you clicked on this video, you know why. I finally got the Sony 400 f2.8. We talk about it in this video. Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's That One Camera Guy back at again with another video, which it's been a while, which I will talk about in a separate video. I'm not going to get into that whole mess. But this video is primarily focused on talking about my experience with the Sony 400 f2.8 and just sharing you my joy and happiness. You know, just kind of a watershed moment of getting this lens, because I only got serious into this whole photography thing about 7 years ago, but I was still shaking photos prior to that. But I don't want to get into that backstory. It's a long time ago, but I've always wanted a 400 2.8 ever since I got really into that sports photography kind of arena. So really quick, cycling back in this long divulged story, if you want to hang tight and listen. I'm not going to do too many visual aids, but you can just listen in to the story. The whole backstory, there was this whole joke going on with the Monday Life podcast where everyone was like egging me to get the 400 2.8. People were like putting money in the donation on the live show for me to get the 400 2.8. Well, here it is, folks. It's here, the 400 2.8. But the funny thing is, I didn't just get this lens. I actually got it about a month ago. I think not in October, but in November during the Black Friday timeframe, like Thanksgiving timeframe. There was this crazy deal going on. If you were in the States and you saw that A7R4 EDU deal, incredible deal, by the way, which I'll talk about in a different video. So that deal happened. There was a 10% discount and then like other discounts on top of that. So I was on the Focus Camera website. I was like, okay, A7R4, $2,400 or something like that with the EDU discount. I was like, awesome, you know? And then all of a sudden I said, what if I just type in the Sony 400 2.8? Hey, I don't know what kind of deal is going to be there. I type in the deal, I type it in, and boom, right out the bat, 10% discount. Now, a 10% discount on a lens like this is a substantial amount, okay? It is quite a bit. And so I saw the discount and I said, add it to my cart, and I was like, I debated about it, and then I just finally went ahead and pulled the trigger on it and just went and picked up the lens. Man, it came in fast. It took like 2 days. I ordered it, it was in 2 days, and I was like, man, I have nothing to take pictures of right now, so I think I just went to the backyard, took pictures of some birds flying around in the backyard. Oh no, I take that back. That wasn't even the situation. No, what am I doing? That's something else. What actually happened was, it came in, and then it came in during a work day. So I was at work when it came in to my house, and so I came back, I drove home, picked up the lens, and then I knew there was a soccer game going on. There we go. Man, I'm starting to forget because it was a while back. And so I didn't have a bag for this, okay? Maybe I'll show you a shot of my Tenba bag, but I was using a Tenba Rode HDSLR bag, which I got a long time ago, like 7 years ago, for my Sigma 120 to 300. And I'm just story time here anyway. And, so in order for this lens to fit in that bag, I had to remove a top component of the bag. It actually fit in there, surprisingly, but I only took this and maybe another lens, like my Tamron 20 to 75 on like another body. And so I went down over there, and I didn't even look at anything else. You know, I'm just like trying to be very cautious, you know, as usual when you have something brand new. And I get there, and I take the lens out of my bag, and this lady, she's one of the refs. She like freaks out a little bit. It's like, oh my god, that's such a big lens or whatever. She was like into photography and stuff like that, so she kind of knew what the deal was. But it's not very common to see a professional series lens out in the sidelines of these kind of games, unfortunately. Somebody that hasn't shot with this 400 2.8 for any long period of time, and I personally haven't used a prime lens like this. So I've always had, when I was shooting with Canon, I had the Sigma 120 to 300, which gave me some zoom range. And then when I switched over to Sony, I was adapting that setup. So I was adapting an EF lens to the Sony system, but it just never worked very well. And now, when I switched over to the 100 to 400 G Master, the autofocus improved dramatically. In general. So when I was shooting the soccer game, I was on the opposing, where the goalie is, corner side actually, even further back. And I still didn't feel like I had enough space. This was the first time I ever felt this, like, I felt claustrophobic. And again, I'm just sharing you my personal experience. Some of you who've shot with these kind of lenses know the deal. But I really felt constrained. I couldn't move. It's really tough to frame the shot. I have to be very, very vigilant about how my framing is. And you'll notice that when I shoot, sometimes I'll cut into a portrait really quickly. So I'll shoot in landscape and I'll quickly jump into portrait. When I would shoot with the 100 to 400, this was never an issue. And the 400 is fast, okay? When they're in range, they're fast. It's just incredible how quickly the acquisition is in the focus. It's great. No complaints. I don't even think there was any doubt in that to begin with. But it was just trying to get used to it. Now, ideally, I should have had a second body and a second lens, a 70 to 200, which I do now. After that time, I paired up the A9 and the A7R4. And so I was using that combo going into the future. I am going to talk a little bit about the A9 and the A7R4 in a separate video about the experience using the autofocus particulars, what I'm going to focus on, because the A7R4 autofocus is very good. It's not quite at the level of the A9, and there's some nuances that I noticed while shooting with it at very difficult and challenging scenarios, but I'll get into that in a separate video for you guys. So why did I want this lens? Okay, I kind of jumped all over the place there. Number one, the biggest issue was just the low light performance at the particular fields that I would shoot at. Our football field, no matter how bright the lights are, I'd be shooting with the 100 to 400 at 5.6, shutter speed of 500, ISO sometimes 16,000, 20,000. You might say, well, just use a 70 to 200, right? f2.8. It just didn't give me the flexibility of the reach that I wanted. The 100 to 400 is a phenomenal daytime lens, but shooting in the evening just wasn't cutting it. So, I was content with the 100 to 400, but I knew the camera could do better. And the issue was that I was cranking up the ISO so high so the quality of the image just wasn't there. So imagine like you have the best tool, but you're pairing it with an inferior tool that's not doing the proper job. And I really wanted that combo. So that comes the 400 2.8, and that's why I ended up getting it, just for the low light capability and the fact that I shoot a lot of sports. It's like 90% of everything that I typically shoot throughout the year. And I wanted to enjoy my time shooting a lot of the outdoor sports and what have you. And speaking of outdoor sports, I actually tried shooting with the 400 2.8 for basketball. Now, that was interesting. Our gym isn't very big, okay? And so there's not a lot of space. I had to open a side door that opens a hallway, and I had to stand in the hallway. I was in the hallway taking pictures through that door into the gym just to get a really cool shot. Now, it looks good when you get the shot, okay? It looks really nice. The rendering and everything looks good. But it was pretty ridiculous. It was fun trying, but that's just how it ended up happening. So, talking a little bit about the shooting situation, which I just did right now. So now I've been just pairing this up with the 70 to 200. I've shot a number of soccer games since then, shooting a lot of tournaments with the 400 2.8. It's an incredible lens, something that I know a lot of people won't ever get, but like I will take a photograph. The subject could be pretty far away. I can still crop because of how sharp the image looks, how sharp the image is. I can still crop the image and the detail will still be there. It's incredible. So even if I shot with the A9 or something like that and I fired and took a picture, the detail would still be there if I still had to crop into the specific action that happened. It's an incredible feat. Like, it just looks good. It still looks good even if I have to crop in. Even in lower light conditions, it still looks really good because of that sharpness. So that's been my take with it. I really haven't used it on any other bodies other than the A7R4 and the A9. With the A7R4, it's a little bit different. It's in a very challenging situation. I'm getting a little bit of back focusing with the A7R4, and I'm trying to figure out why. If you know why, let me know in the comments below. But I've been trying to change the shutter, like the release priority, focusing on AF acquisition, but it's just not hitting as sharp as the A9 does. So I'm still working on that, still testing it out, still trying to figure it out. Maybe the A7R4 autofocus has its limits in what it can do. But there you go, folks. That is the Sony 400 f2.8, and yes, I have finally picked it up. Don't expect any videos into the future. I hate saying that because I'll say it, and then and I'm going to be gone for like another 2 months or something. But I am going to have a video talking a little bit about why I've been out, things like that. It's not even that I haven't been doing anything. I've been busy. I've been doing all kinds of stuff, and it's just been I've been getting more focused on what I've been doing at my job, which has been fun. So, but I needed to take time off for the most part. But anyhow, that's gonna do it for me in this video, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe, just maybe, if you wish hard enough, into the new year, I might release another video. I'll see you later. Peace.